Now come to the second chapter, that is electric flux and Gauss theorem. First we will discuss here about area vector. Area in general is considered to be a scalar quantity, but here we will define area vector. Means that we consider area to be a vector quantity, and this is only because we want to define the orientation of area inside a electric field. So area vector of any plane area, let us consider here capital S, is a vector perpendicular to its area equal in magnitude of the area. So if we consider a unit vector n perpendicular to a plane area capital S, then area vector S is equal to magnitude of S into unit vector n. Suppose this is a plane area, then how will we define the area vector of this area? We will calculate the area of this surface, then we define a vector perpendicular to this area equal in magnitude of the area of this surface, and it will represent the area vector of this surface. Now direction of area vector for a closed surface is taken to be perpendicular outwards on each area element of the surface. Suppose that this is a closed area like this, and there is a element, means a small area of this surface like this, and we want to define the area vector. So area vector of this element will be outwards like this. If this area element is here, then the area vector will be perpendicularly outwards like this. As shown here in this figure, this is a small element area ds of this closed surface. This complete closed surface is taken to be capital S. Then area vector of this surface is perpendicularly outwards to this element. I have considered a unit vector along its direction to be n. So vector ds is equal to magnitude of ds into unit vector n. Next is solid angle. Angle subtended by a surface at any point is known as solid angle. This is any surface, S is taken here to be a surface, and O is a point. Now to obtain the solid angle of this surface, we have joined the boundaries of this surface by O. All the boundaries are joined by O. Then you will get a angle of cone shaped at point O, and that is obtained by joining all the boundaries of this surface and is known as omega. It is the solid angle subtended by this surface capital S at point O. Its SI unit is steradian. The SI unit of solid angle is steradian. Now we will come to the element. Let an area element ds is situated at point R. This is area element ds situated at distance r from O, and if the line joining O and the center of this element area ds is normal to ds, the solid angle subtended at O by this area ds is given by d omega is equal to ds by r square. Suppose again I am considering this element, this is area element, and there is a point inside this surface. Join that point with the boundaries of these lines. If the line joining that point with the center of this element area is normal to the surface, means area vector and the line joining from the point inside this surface with this point is in same direction. In that case, d omega is equal to ds by r square. If the line joining the point inside this surface with its center is in some other direction, means if theta is the angle between the vector and the line joining the point O with the center ds, here this is the line joining, this is in some other direction than the area vector of the surface. Suppose this makes an angle theta with ds. In this case, we will resolve ds along this line. So we get ds cos theta. In this case, solid angle d omega will be written as d omega is equal to ds cos theta by r square. Now, the total solid angle subtended at any point inside the closed surface is always 4 pi. Suppose we consider a closed surface and we want to find out the total solid angle subtended at a point inside this closed surface. So we will take a point inside this surface and we want to find out the solid angle subtended by this total complete surface at that center, and that angle will be 4 pi steradian. And if the point lies outside this surface anywhere here, then the angle subtended will be 0. Next is electric flux. What is electric flux? Suppose take a area, electric flux linked with this area when it is placed inside electric field is the number of electric field lines passing through this area. It is represented by phi e. Now I have considered here this to be a uniform electric field, capital E, and this surface area is kept like this inside the electric field. So the area vector of this area will be like this. This is S is the area vector of this area, and electric field is in this direction. So the angle between the electric field and area vector is taken to be theta. The flux passing through this area inside the electric field is the scalar product of electric field and the area vector of this area. Phi e is written as E dot S. If the area vector S makes an angle theta, then in that case, as we know, E dot S will become Es cos theta. Electric flux is a scalar quantity. Its value may be positive, negative or 0. Unit of electric flux is Newton meter square per coulomb or volt per meter, and dimensional formula is ml3 t minus 3 a minus 1. Now here I have considered the electric field to be uniform and area was also plane. Now we will consider a little different case in which electric field is non-uniform or area is not a plane surface. Then at different parts of the surface, electric field E or S or both will be in different directions, as I have considered here in this case. Here you can easily notice that electric field E and area vectors at different points of the area are different. So in this case we will divide the total area into small area elements as ds1, ds2, ds3 and so on. Now to calculate the electric flux passing through the total surface, we will consider separately electric flux due to each of these elements and then find out the sum of all the electric flux. So total flux phi E will be E1 dot ds1 due to first element, E2 dot ds2 due to second element and so on. We can write it as summation E dot ds. Now we will have to take here one approximation. Since this area element is very small, so it can be considered as plane. Also, electric field confined in a very small area can be taken to be constant. So the area element is very small, ds tending to 0. In this case, we can convert this summation into integration. So phi E will become integral s E dot ds, where integral s is the surface integral for whole surface, and if this surface is closed, in that case this phi E is equal to integral over the closed surface. We will place a circle here. This will represent the integration over a closed surface E dot ds. Next is Gauss theorem. Gauss theorem states that the total electric flux passing perpendicularly outwards through an arbitrary closed surface placed in an electric field is equal to 1 upon epsilon 0 k times the total electric charge enclosed by the closed surface. In mathematical form, we can write it as phi E is equal to integral over the closed surface E dot ds is equal to 1 upon epsilon 0 k summation q. Here summation q is the total charge enclosed by the closed surface. If the charge enclosed inside the surface is 0, means there is no charge inside the closed surface, in that case this flux becomes integral as E dot ds is equal to 0 because summation q is 0. Now this theorem contains two parts. First part when the charge is placed inside the surface, and the second part when the charge is placed outside this surface. So we will take one by one. First, when the charge is placed inside the closed surface, I have considered here a closed surface capital S, and a charge plus q is placed at point O inside this closed surface. Now to find out the electric flux passing through this closed surface, we will divide this surface into many small elements. One such element is at point P, whose area vector is ds, and electric field at point P is capital E. Both are in different directions and angle between them is theta. The distance of this charge plus q from the center of this element is small r. So the electric field due to this charge plus q at point P can be given as E is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 k q upon r square, because the distance of charge q from point P is small r. Now the total electric flux passing through this element area ds will be obtained by d phi is equal to E dot ds, as by definition E dot ds is equal to E ds cos theta because angle between E and ds is theta. We will substitute the value of electric field from this equation as 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 k q upon r square ds cos theta. As we know, ds cos theta upon r square is equal to d omega. We will substitute in this equation ds cos theta upon r square as d omega. So we obtain this equation d phi is equal to q upon 4 pi epsilon 0 k d omega. Now the electric flux passing through the closed surface. This is the electric flux passing through this element. Now we want to calculate the electric flux passing through this complete closed surface. So we have to integrate this electric flux over the total surface capital S as to get the flux passing through the complete surface. Here phi is equal to integral over the closed surface S d phi. We will substitute the value of d phi from this equation. Take the constant terms outside the integration. We get q upon 4 pi epsilon 0 k integral over the closed surface S d omega. Now we will obtain the value of cyclic integral S d omega as 4 pi. Now why this 4 pi? To understand this, let us come here to this figure. Angle subtended by this small element area is d omega. If we integrate this over the complete surface, then it will provide the angle subtended by the complete surface at point O and the angle subtended by a complete surface at a point inside the surface is equal to 4 pi. So the integral S d omega is equal to 4 pi. Now we will substitute this value 4 pi here to get this equation. 4 pi and 4 pi will be cancelled. So we get 1 upon epsilon 0 k into q. If there are many charges placed inside the electric field like q1, q2, q3 and so on, minus q1 dash, minus q2 dash and so on, few are positive and few are negative. In that case, the total electric flux passing through this closed surface S can be given as phi E is equal to 1 upon epsilon 0 k summation q, where summation q is sum of all the charges situated inside this closed surface. Now consider the second case when the charge is placed outside the closed surface. Here this is the closed surface capital S and charge is placed at point O outside the surface. Here charge is plus q. Now here we have to find out the electric flux passing through this surface. What will we do? We will draw a cone of solid angle d omega from point O. This is cone of solid angle d omega. From this point O, it will cut the surface of area ds1, ds2, ds3 and ds4 at points P, Q, R and S of the surface capital S. Here you will have to notice two things. The direction of electric field at all these points P, Q, R, S is along the line joining the charge. That is E1 here at point P, E2 at Q, E3 at R, E4 at S. But the direction of area vectors is different. I have told you earlier that the direction of area vector is always outwards normal to the surface. So here the surface is like this, like this. So here the direction will be this way outwards, and here the direction is this way outwards. So here direction is in this direction and here is in this direction. At point R, area vector is in this direction, and here at point S, area vector is along this direction. So here the angle between E and S is greater than 90, here less than 90, here also greater than 90, and here also less than 90. Now we will find out the electric flux passing from this area ds1 at this point P. This flux will be negative because this angle between E and ds is greater than 90. The flux will be q upon 4 pi epsilon 0 k d omega. Similarly, electric flux passing from area ds2 at point Q will be plus q upon 4 pi epsilon 0 k d omega. Similarly, flux from point R minus q upon 4 pi epsilon 0 k d omega, and at point S it will be plus q upon 4 pi epsilon 0 k d omega. Now to find the total electric flux passing from this closed surface, we will sum out all these electric flux. So the total electric flux phi E is the sum of all these four flux. You can easily notice they all will cancel each other and we will get net flux phi E to be 0. Therefore, we can say according to Gauss theorem, the total electric flux passing through the closed surface phi E is equal to integral over the closed surface S E dot ds is equal to 1 upon epsilon 0 k into 0. 0 is summation q is 0 because no charge is placed inside the surface.